Welcome to this Step 3 review brought to you by Roadmap to Residency. In the next several minutes, we are going to build you a high-yield study plan that actually fits around the demands of residency, and we are going to focus on something most resources skip: how to read a question stem and pick the right answer quickly. The goal here is not to reteach every concept. It is to show you the patterns you will see on test day and the strategies that turn what you already know into points. Keep your favorite review book and your question bank nearby because this video is about working smarter, not starting over. Here is what we are going to cover today. First, we will build a study plan that fits into 4 to 6 weeks around the reality of residency hours. Second, we will talk about which resources actually move your score, including your question bank and the computer-based case simulations. Third, we will use your practice data to find and attack your weak areas. And running through all of it, we will focus on reading question stems and applying test-taking strategies, because knowing the material is only half the battle. Picking the right answer under time pressure is the other half. Our first strategy is about balancing this exam with the demands of residency, because that is the real challenge. Stop waiting for long, uninterrupted study blocks, because they will not come. Instead, protect a small, consistent block every day, something like 24 to 40 timed questions, and let that consistency carry you. Treat your post-call days and your golden weekends as catch-up time, not as the foundation of your plan. Here is the good part. The patients you see on the wards are living question stems. Every order you place and every medication you adjust is a chance to rehearse the management style this exam rewards. This is the one exam where your daily work and your studying point in the same direction, so use that overlap to your advantage. Strategy 2 is your 4 to 6 week timeline, and how you sequence it matters. In the early weeks, work through your question bank by system using tutor mode, so you read every explanation as you go. This is the phase where you discover your weak areas, so pay attention to where you struggle. Start your case simulation practice in the very first week, so the software never surprises you later. Then, in the final 2 weeks, switch to timed random blocks that mix every system together, because that is exactly how the real exam feels. Reserve focused sessions for the case types you found hardest, and in the last few days, do not start new material. Review your flagged questions and your own notes. You want to taper into the exam, not cram right up against it. Let us talk about which resources actually matter. Your single biggest tool is one high-quality question bank, worked through completely, with every explanation read. Doing one bank thoroughly beats skimming 3 of them. Treat each explanation as a short lesson, not just a check on whether you were right. The second pillar is the computer-based case simulations. Use the official practice software from the testing organization so the interface feels familiar, and run several full cases under timed conditions. These simulations reward your process, not your recall. The third pillar is a mistake log. Every question you miss goes into one short document, written in your own words. By the final week, that log becomes your highest yield review. And take an official practice form early and again near the end, so you have a realistic sense of where you stand. Let us work through our first practice question, and this one is about reading the stem for the real task. A 60-year-old man with diabetes comes in for a routine visit. He feels well. His blood pressure today is well controlled, and his foot exam is normal. But his last eye exam was more than 2 years ago, and his last urine test for kidney function was over a year ago. He takes his medications reliably. What is the most appropriate next step in management? Read it once more and ask yourself what the question is really testing. Then we will walk through it together. Let us break this down. Step 1. Spot the pattern. Notice that everything is already controlled. The blood pressure is fine, the feet are fine, and he takes his medicines. So the stem is not asking you to treat a number. It is testing whether you know the routine screening this patient is overdue for. Step 2, apply the rule. This exam rewards complete preventive care for chronic disease. A patient with diabetes needs regular dilated eye exams and periodic urine screening for early kidney disease, and he is overdue for both. So the right move is to order them. That is option B, and it closes both gaps at once. Step 3, eliminate the wrong answers. Option A adds a medication for a blood pressure that is already controlled, treating a problem that does not exist. Option C starts insulin with no evidence it is needed. Option D simply waits and ignores overdue screening. Each wrong choice either overtreats or does nothing, and that is the trap. The answer is B. Here is our second practice question, and this one is about finding your weak areas. Imagine you are 3 weeks into your study plan. Your question bank shows you are scoring well in cardiology and infectious disease, but consistently below the passing line in biostatistics, patient safety, and ethics. You have 2 weeks left before your exam. How should you adjust your plan to make the most of this information? Think about what your performance data is telling you to do, and we will walk through the best approach next. Let us work through this. First, read what the data is telling you. Your performance is pointing directly at biostatistics, patient safety, and ethics. These are high-yield, learnable topics where focused effort moves your score fast. Now look at the wrong approaches. Option A, ignoring the weak areas and hoping they improve, is not a strategy, it is just hope. Option C, dropping those subjects entirely, leaves easy points on the table. Option D, restarting the whole question bank, wastes your limited time on material you already know. The smart move is option B. Spend dedicated study sessions on each weak topic, then prove the gap is closing with short, focused blocks on that subject. Topics like biostatistics and patient safety reward pattern recognition, so a concentrated push pays off quickly. The lesson generalizes far beyond this question. Let your data, not your gut feeling, decide where your remaining hours go. The answer is B. Let us talk about mastering the case simulations, because they feel different from multiple choice and they reward a specific approach. First, the clock is your tool. Order what you would truly order, then advance time in small steps to see how the patient responds. Move the clock forward to get results back, but never jump so far that you skip past a deteriorating patient. Acting too slowly and leaping too far ahead are both penalized, so advance deliberately and reassess at each step. Second, order broadly early, then refine. At the start of a case, order the basic workup a careful clinician would: initial labs, vital signs, and a focused exam. Do not forget supportive and preventive care, like counseling, because the simulation gives you credit for it. As results return, narrow toward treatment, and remember to move the patient to the right location, whether that is home, the ward, or the intensive care unit. Practice this enough times and it becomes second nature. Here is our third practice question, and this one is about what to do when you are not sure. A previously healthy young adult is brought to the emergency department after fainting while playing basketball. He is now alert with normal vital signs. A family member mentions that a young cousin died suddenly in his 20s. Imagine you have narrowed it down to 2 answer choices, and you are stuck. Which test-taking approach gives you the best chance of choosing correctly? Notice this question is testing your strategy, not just a fact. Think about it, and we will walk through it next. Let us break down this answer. First, find the detail that decides it. The most specific clue is the family member who died suddenly at a young age, combined with fainting during exertion. That detail points toward an inherited heart condition, so the correct approach is option B. When you are stuck between 2 choices, go back to the single most specific fact in the stem and pick the option that explains it. Vague details are filler, while the unusual, specific ones are placed there for a reason. Now avoid the common traps. Option A, always choosing the most aggressive or invasive test, is a habit this exam punishes. Option C, reflexively changing your first instinct, is a myth, because your first read is usually well-informed, so only change it when you have a concrete reason. And option D, picking the longest answer choice, is a test-writing superstition, not a real pattern. Trust the specific clue, not these shortcuts. The answer is B. Here is a critical pearl about pacing an exam day, because how you manage the day decides as many points as how much you know. First, manage the clock and your breaks. Each block gives you a fixed amount of time per question, so know that pace before you walk in. If a question stalls you, flag it, make your best guess, and move on. A blank question scores nothing, so never leave one empty. Plan your break time across the whole day in advance, and protect a real lunch break so you stay sharp through the afternoon. Now, why does this matter so much? This is a long exam, and mental stamina decides as many points as knowledge does. Candidates lose more marks to rushing, fatigue, and letting one question eat their time than to gaps in content. You practice timed blocks for exactly this reason, so trust that training. Steady pacing, smart guessing, and planned breaks are how you carry your preparation all the way to the final block. That wraps up our high-yield study plan and test-taking strategies for Step 3. Let us recap. Build a 4 to 6 week plan that fits around residency. Lean on one question bank worked all the way through, plus the official case simulations. Use your performance data to attack your weak areas. And on test day, manage the clock and your energy as carefully as you manage the questions. For any concept that trips you up, go back to your favorite review book and spend your final week on flagged questions rather than new material. If you want a personalized plan, visit www.roadmap2residency.com to work with our expert tutors and residency advisors. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe so more residents can find it, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next session. You have got this. Good luck on your exam, and we will see you in the next video.